Ooh, making it make sense. The light was just too much in my bright. But good day. Got my Guardians gear on because we the youngest team in the playoffs. But all this to say this. Lately, I've been doing a lot of interviewing with some companies, and it is known to me now that guess what? These companies don't give people feedback when they interview. It's like I said, I mean, I'm recognizing it. It's not a ghosting situation or anything anymore, but these companies don't give folks feedback. And why is that? Could be a number of things. They're too busy or whatever it is. But somebody has to start giving feedback so interviewees can get better and get jobs or they can stop wasting their time. I guess I would say. Because if somebody don't give you no feedback, how do you improve? You know what I'm saying? How do you improve? No one is there to give you any feedback. Well, do your own feedback. That's what I started doing. I got this system that I've been working with that it works fine with me. Anybody that don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Because what's so obvious and crazy to me is that we've been doing Zoom meetings and all of these types of interviewing processes and things online for a while now. Those meetings are recorded 9 times out of 10. And if not, it's very easy to record those meetings. So, y'all recording the meeting? I'm recording the meeting too. Because I'm going to be able to go back and check out my feedback and figure out what's happening and what notes need to be taken, what questions were asked. So, for example, I go into my can't see, but my notes on my iPhone. Perfect place to go and figure out everything, you know. And one of my notes is like interviewing the interview, and interviewing the interviewer. Because at the same time, my therapist had told me, she was like, I'm not sure, because of my working memory issues. She's like, it'd be a good idea, even if you're not interested in certain job opportunities, they ask to interview you, go ahead and interview them so you can practice and get. And I said, okay, not a problem. That makes sense. But then I looked at some of the nuances of these processes and the things that they want in these interviews to do the most menial positions. And the ATS, the tracking systems that they got to go through. I mean, come on. Make those make sense. They don't make no sense at all. Keyword here, keyword there, put a thesaurus together. Well, but like I was saying, it was like what after the interview, this was the whole key. I'm asking about the company, asking about the culture, asking about the environment, asking them. You got to interview the company that you're gonna be working for. You spend 8 hours a day in these buildings and atmospheres, so know who is above you and know who is below you and know who you're reporting to. Who do you report to directly? You have to ask all these questions. What type of how do y'all handle issues? What's the reporting process? Is everybody under arbitration? What these are the questions you want to know for the place that you plan on staying at for at least 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Okay, I mean those are just some of the basics. But yeah, I've been known to write all types of notes on this phone. Like how soon are you looking to fill positions? And you gotta watch. They might not know. The person interviewing might not know nothing about the job that you're interviewing for, and that is a problem. Will you be micromanaged? How many candidates are you interviewing for? When are you trying to get this position filled? What does a drug test entail? I smoke marijuana. I have a medical marijuana card. I have a vape pen. I have eat edibles. What's the process? You have hands off work, where it's mine only, because there's a lot of jobs that I'm working for or applying for. I have to let you know up front I have ADA accommodations that I need. Simple. Ain't no point of hiding, sneaking, and wasting your time or wasting my time, because if that's not in the ball game, there's no point of us even going to the next level. So asking some of these simple questions will have you in a whole better place. Ask, is the management, is it strict management? Do as I say and not as I do type of thing? Or am I micromanaged? I mean, these are the different questions that you got to ask. How does investigations go about? How do I complain? HR ain't your friend, so who do I go to? I don't trust HR. So is it okay that my lawyer contacts you when I have a problem with somebody that I'm working with? Is that how we doing the document stuff now? Because I will advise everybody to go get a free trial, a legal shield or something like that, something temporary, so you can have everything in your background, because you need a lawyer. Not necessarily. You just need to have your lawyer in your head working. But 2023, if I'm starting to interview for some positions, I'm going to be documenting everything. And I had an interview with a good company a couple of weeks ago. They said, "Oh, we'll get back with you and everything else." I'm like, in the process, he was like, when he said he was going to get back, you know what I'm saying? Just be honest. Because guess what? The same way you're interviewing me, I'm interviewing you. And how would any company feel about how their recruiting team recruits? If they find out their recruiting team recruits like shit, because the people you've been interviewing or talking to are interviewing you as well. And when you're not reaching back out, they're reaching back out to your superiors. Does that make sense? So you mean to tell me, so a simple explanation or a summary of either why they were a good candidate or why they weren't a good candidate? You took that 30 seconds, put that into your interview script. You know what I'm saying? When you're finished your interview script, write down, okay, feedback for candidate. That's it, simple. Then at least that candidate knows whether, what they're going to do, come and attack you. No. They're going to feel 100% grateful because you gave them some feedback. So now they know what they may or may not need to work on, or what can get them to the next level maybe in your organization, if it's just an organization they want to be a part of. But I say all that to say this. 2023, I'm interviewing the interviewees too. So if you're a company, you want to send somebody through 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of interviews, that's going to be told. If your interview process was something simple and sweet, that's going to be told. Whether it's a good interview or a bad interview, I'm just giving the tea. Whether the job is got or the job is not got. When my friends go on interviews, I'm going to report their interview processes. Let's talk about it. How was your interview? Was your interview good? Did they cover everything? Did you go over the script of questions that you had in your head, or did you get nervous? Did they make you intimidated? I mean, sometimes the first interview is not the one that's going to get you the lead. Sometimes they're so rehearsed in practice, but it's pretty funny. It's just like relationships. When you're in a relationship, that's when everybody wants you. Or when you start to get all that interest and attachment, that's when everybody wants to start looking at you. It's 2022 right now, the end. This is the final quarter. It's my last minute to speak. You better get everything that you want in an employer. Ask all them pertinent questions. Because if you scared to ask them the pertinent questions before you get the job, you definitely gonna ask them the pertinent questions after you get the job. I got another interview Monday with a potential company, and I think I would really like working for. But I'm not really in the press to work, and it has to be a combination of some of their terms, my terms. I'm not going to be dissatisfied in any position I go to going forward. So I just want to make that make sense and say, going forward, be happy. Make sure you're at peace. Your integrity is not compromised. And like I said, give your feedback on these interviews. They don't give us feedback back. So guess what? Now it's time to lay it out on the line for them. Deuces.